For the record today, we speak to the MMC of the Department of Finance, Julie Sadibi. MMC Julie Sadibi, thank you so much for your time, of course, in joining us to speak about the Department of Finance in the city.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you.
MMC, just to start off, is the city of Joburg in good financial position? And, you know, what needs to change, if not for the visitor, the citizen, and the investor in the city?
Well, the good financial position, when we came in, we were rated, Moody's had rated our position as negative, our outlook as negative. And on the 8th of April, they upgraded us to stable. And when we went into the adjustment budget, National Treasury rated us as fragile, as in terms of our governance and management, financial management. And just this week, when we presented our proposed budget to them, they have upgraded our financial management and our financial government to sound. So I feel we're on the right direction. We're heading in the right way. And the short answer to your question is, are the finances of Johannesburg in good hands? I would have to say I really do hope so, because they're in mine, and I hope my hands are good, yes.
Absolutely, MMC. But in terms of cost recovery, how's the city working on that?
Okay, the debt rehabilitation program is a way to increase our revenue, which if you want to increase your bottom line, you've got one of two ways to do it. You can increase your revenue or you can decrease the costs. But if you manage to do both, then you're in the best position of all. So the debt rehabilitation program is to increase the revenue. And this is to encourage our residents to pay the bills for the services that they have used. COVID was absolutely devastating to our economy. It was devastating to our residents. Everybody was affected. Jobs were lost. Lives have been lost. Income has been decimated. And so this is phase 3 of the debt rehabilitation program. And what we do is allow those who have been really badly affected by the economy in whatever way. Nobody has to prove it was COVID related, but in whatever way, that they have an opportunity to have their 90-day-old debt written off, mostly over time. If government pensioners and registered indigent persons would get their 90-day-old debt written off 100% on approval of the application. And on the 26th of April, we've changed some of the qualification parameters. So now, if your house is less than 2.5 million rand, then you can apply for debt rehabilitation, whereas previously it was 1.5 million rand. And that sort of cut out what we call the missing middle. That if you're really poor, you get help, and if you're really rich, you don't need help. But there's that missing middle who, on occasion, do need assistance. And so we've increased the threshold of the value of the property, and we've allowed orphanages to apply, and old age homes can apply. And one of the big things that we heard in the initial phases of the debt rehabilitation was body corporates, and they are now also allowed to apply. They qualify to apply for the debt rehabilitation. And so this is a two-pronged approach. So it allows the city to get back some of the money. It trains and encourages our residents into a culture of payment, so that they need to pay their current in full and on time. And then if the whole household earns less than 22,000 Rand a month, then the whole of the debt gets written off over 3 years, so that the city gets the revenue and the debt gets written off as a cooperative approach to the problem.
Finally, from myself, MMC, as an incoming member of the Mayoral Committee, of Finance, and as a member of the Democratic Alliance, what don't we know about you? What would you like the residents of the city to know about you besides spearheading the Department of Finance in the city?
I had a few answers to that question. I think people tend to think that those who look after the money are staid, stuffy accountants, and I would like to consider myself to not be a staid and stuffy accountant. And one of my favorite ways of relaxation is putting on a meal, special meal for those I love. I've managed to get Jamie Oliver's 30-minute meals done in 30 minutes.
Love Jamie Oliver.
I could do that.
Is there anything, MMC, that I didn't ask that perhaps you feel is pertinent that the residents should know?
Yes, with respect to the cost recovery, one of the impacts of our residents not paying their bills on time is that the city depends almost entirely on the revenue that is received to run. So the operational expenses of the city are 100% funded by the revenue that the city receives. And our capital expenditure, that is to build the infrastructure and things that we need, in our draft budget that was tabled a month ago, 40% of that money comes from our own coffers. And so we need to work together, the city and our residents. So if I don't pay my bill faithfully, the city can't deliver services to you, TT. And so I really would like to encourage all the residents of Johannesburg to have another look at paying your bills and to realize that we have to work together, we have to stand together to rebuild our city into the city of golden opportunities that is possible and that we're working towards.
MMC Saribi, anything else you'd like to add ahead of the budget speech?
Yes, thank you, TT. I would like to invite all the residents of the city to listen to or to watch the budget speech on all the platforms available on the 25th of May at 10 o'clock in the morning, where we take the budget to all the residents of the city, building on the golden start of the Mayor's priorities, and we deliver basic services to all the residents of our city, from Orange Farm to Ivory Park.
Grow your business with Joburg Today TV. Request a rate card to get your brand, product, or service-focused feature produced, packaged, and delivered within 36 hours. Or have your special event covered, live or on demand. With amazing exposure on Joburg Today TV, delivering the best of you to your audience.
You're watching
You're watching
You're watching
You watching
You are watching
Joburg Today.